custody. Well, most of the country has not seen snow this holiday season, but it was a white Christmas and
Straight ahead at noon, still no arrests. One area family continues waiting for answers after an Amish buggy crash claimed 2 young lives. We have the latest in the investigation. Plus, people all around the world will begin celebrating Kwanzaa today. We have a look at the meaning behind the holiday. And a unique way to find love. A woman in Minneapolis is using Christmas cards to hopefully find her newest love interest. Your news at noon starts now.
Live from your local news leader, this is KTTC News.
We begin with a Dover man in critical condition after a rollover crash in Olmsted County. Good afternoon and thank you for joining us. I'm Kelsey Marrier. Jess has the day off. This crash happened on Christmas Eve around 3 in the morning in the area of County Road 30 and 180th Avenue Southeast near Saratoga between Chatfield and Dover. Deputies say the driver in his early 20s was thrown from the vehicle. He was taken to Mayo Clinic St. Mary's. The cause of the crash is unclear at this time. An Iowa man who stole a car and was high on drugs was arrested in Southeast Rochester. Someone called police on Friday about a man acting strange in a car in the parking lot of Children's Exchange and Maternity Exchange on Marion Road. When officers arrived, they say the driver, 30-year-old Joseph Miltier of Knoxville, Iowa, was showing signs of drug use. He later admitted to using methamphetamine and cocaine and was taken to Mayo Clinic St. Mary's. Police also found meth and a firearm inside the vehicle. They say Miltier stole the car out of Iowa. It was apparently left unlocked with the keys inside. The authorities contacted the owner, who said they did not know the suspect. Miltier is facing multiple charges. Continuing coverage now, this week marks 3 months since the Fillmore County crash that took the lives of 2 Amish children. Still to this day, no arrests have been made in this case. On September 25th, 7-year-old Wilma Miller and her 11-year-old sister Irma died after their horse-drawn buggy was hit from behind by an SUV. This happened on Fillmore County Road 1 in Sumner Township. They were on their way to school along with 2 other siblings, both of whom survived the crash. Originally, authorities said Sarah Peterson of Spring Valley was the driver of the SUV. However, a few weeks later, court records revealed it was likely Peterson's twin sister Samantha behind the wheel when the crash happened. Both twins were on scene when law enforcement arrived. The Fillmore County Sheriff's Office and the Minnesota State Patrol are continuing to investigate. Let's pause now and check in with the weather department. Meteorologist Ted Schmidt is off this afternoon, but meteorologist Sarah Gannon is in to let us know what our Tuesday is going to be like. Sarah, you're out on the weather patio. How's it feeling?
Hey there, Kelsey. It certainly is crisp out here on the weather patio this afternoon. A big difference from this weekend. It was so nice, very mild into those 50s. Today now we are sitting into those low 30s. So big change here with those temperatures. Many of us feeling about 15 to 20 degrees colder than we were this time yesterday. Outside, things are quiet there as we check in with your Louis Donato live camera downtown Rochester. Plenty of cloud cover overhead. Right now, we're sitting at 31 degrees here in Rochester. Winds out of the south that feel like down to about 22 here in the Med City. Area-wide, many of us down into those low 30s. So certainly a chilly day to kick things off for the work as many of us return to work here today. Cloud cover stays pretty consistent. Notice those rain showers, though, still off to our north. In northern Minnesota, still some snow and ice happening throughout parts of the Dakotas. So massive low pressure system continues to churn here throughout the upper Midwest, bringing that rain, that snow, and that wintry mix to parts of the region. So we begin to dry out, and we'll stay on the drier side here in southeast Minnesota, northeast Iowa as the afternoon into the evening progresses. We may see some patchy drizzles, some flurries off and on here through this afternoon into this evening as that low pressure system continues to churn and gradually begins to dissipate. So we will look to see temperatures staying on the cooler side, only into those low 30s, but we'll look to stay on the milder side compared to average and seasonal standards. More 30s on the way here for the upcoming week. So we'll talk about how things play out and could we see any more snowfall possibly on the horizon. We'll talk about those details in your first third weather.
All right. Mild is good, Sarah. We love to hear it. Thank you so much. The search continues today for an Alaskan woman who has been missing for 3 days after falling through the ice. She was reported missing on Saturday while out walking with her dogs. According to authorities, the man and woman involved were walking along a trail when one of the dogs went into open water. The couple then went into the water to search for the dog, but the woman did not resurface. Alaska state troopers have activated a search and rescue mission in hopes of finding her. Authorities are looking for a homeowner after a massive fire destroyed a house on Long Island, New York. Around 100 firefighters responded early this morning. This happened in the city of Melville. Officials say the fire came from a propane tank between a shed and the home. Most of the house was on fire as crews were arriving. The flames were successfully extinguished. Fire officials say the blaze did not appear intentional. However, police say the area is a crime scene. The Powerball was not in the spirit of giving this Christmas. There unfortunately was no jackpot winner in the lottery games drawing on Monday night for Christmas, but you still can get yourself a ticket for tomorrow's drawing. The jackpot prize has now grown to an estimated $685 million. Good luck to all who play. As Israel's military continues to battle Hamas militants in Gaza today, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has vowed to keep fighting until Hamas is destroyed, defying global calls for a ceasefire. NBC's Josh Letterman has the very latest from southern Israel.
The Gaza Strip is reeling from one of the deadliest stretches of the war so far, with some 250 Palestinians killed in a 24-hour period, according to the Hamas-run Palestinian Health Ministry. And among them are at least 70 people who died in an airstrike on the Al-Maghazi refugee camp in central Gaza. The Israelis, too, have been suffering a large number of casualties. At least 17 IDF troops were killed just since Friday, according to Israel's military. And the fighting has been ongoing. Just within the last few hours, we have been hearing the explosions here in southern Israel of additional rockets from Gaza being launched into Israel, intercepted by the Iron Dome system. And it comes as Prime Minister Netanyahu is really under a lot of pressure right now to change course in this war, not only from aid groups and foreign countries that are demanding an immediate ceasefire, but also from the families of those some 100 plus families of hostages who are believed to be still held in the Gaza Strip. Some of those relatives heckled the prime minister as he spoke in Israeli parliament last night. They shouted "now" and held up signs saying, "What if this was your daughter?" And the prime minister has been fairly defiant in the face of those calls for some type of shift. He paid a secret wartime visit to Gaza yesterday, met with troops there, where he said, for anyone calling for an end to this war, it's not going to happen. Israel must fight until the very end. And in one reminder of just the clear risk of this war spiraling across the region, Iran says that Israel killed a senior Revolutionary Guard official in Syria over the last 48 hours or so. Iran now threatening to retaliate against Israel. Josh Letterman, NBC News, Sderot, Israel.
A Russian naval ship in Crimea was damaged in an airstrike by Ukrainian forces today. This as Russian troops report battle gains in eastern Ukraine. Russian officials say the landing ship was hit at a base by plane-launched guided missiles, adding that 2 Ukrainian fighter jets were destroyed by anti-aircraft fire during the attack. Over the past several months, Ukrainian forces have conducted attacks around Crimea, mostly with sea drones. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky credits those attacks with allowing Ukraine to restore navigation in the Black Sea and allowing the export of millions of tons of grain. Iraq's government has officially condemned an overnight U.S. airstrike on Iraqi military positions that it said killed 1 serviceman and wounded 18 other people. Iraqi officials say the retaliatory airstrikes targeted headquarters of the armed group Kataib Hezbollah. The airstrikes followed a 1-day drone attack earlier in the day by Iran-aligned militants that left 1 U.S. service member in critical condition and 2 others hurt. The U.S. has 900 troops in Syria and 2,500 in Iraq on a mission it says aims to advise and assist local forces trying to prevent a resurgence of Islamic State. The death toll from a powerful earthquake that hit China last week has now risen to nearly 150 people. The 6.2 magnitude quake struck a remote mountainous area, destroying more than 14,000 homes and triggering heavy mudslides. Rescuers are still searching for any missing people. Nearly 1,000 others are hurt. Officials say this is China's deadliest earthquake in 9 years. Today marks the first day of the week-long celebration of Kwanzaa. The holiday was created in 1966. It is a non-religious observation of African Americans' ancestral roots that celebrates 7 core principles, including creativity, collective responsibility, self-determination, faith, and purpose. In a way similar to the menorah in Hanukkah, a candle is lit each night on the Kinara. It holds 7 candles, 1 black, 3 green, and 3 red. They represent the people, the struggle, and the future, as well as the 7 principles. The celebration of Kwanzaa ends on the first day of the new year. If you are looking for a new way to find love, listen up to this. A Minnesota woman has come up with quite a unique way to hopefully catch someone's eye from a holiday card hanging on a fridge. We have this story after the break. Welcome back. A single Minneapolis woman has had it with the usual ways of meeting men. Just in time for the holidays, she decided to try a new approach using Christmas cards. Jason Rentala has the story.
Dating apps like Hinge and Bumble are popular ways to find dates in 2023.
I know I'm not the only one that had an extraordinarily terrible year on the dating apps.
But what if that's just not for you? As 27-year-old Julia McClellan found.
It's me, my pup Susie.
What may appear as just a traditional Christmas card has an additional message.
And it says, "Are you seeing this on my friend's fridge? Are you a single male between the ages of 25 and 35? Hi, I'm Julia."
What inspired you for this idea?
I'm in marketing and I make music on the side, so I'm like constantly thinking of like creative ways to get a message out. And so I thought, I haven't done that in my dating life, and the dating apps weren't super fun this year, so why not?
She has the horror stories.
Yeah, they were bad.
To prove it.
I think the worst one was a guy who was telling me about, he had some female coworkers and he was like, I've just decided that women can't make a rational decision. And so I was like, well, I'm about to make a really rational decision about this guy.
Since posting to TikTok a few days ago, she's had a few people slide into her DMs.
My Instagram DMs are currently filling up, which is kind of fun. There's some people that I'm like, oh, that's a scary person. And then there's other people that I'm like, oh, they're cute. So
for Julia, she says it's about breaking out of her comfort zone to ring in 2024.
It's fun energy to go into the new year doing something like this. Try something new. You got to try something new in the new year.
That is such a unique way. I love it. I'm hoping all the best for Julia. Your midday markets are right after a quick check of your Tuesday forecast with Sarah.
Thanks, Kelsey. It certainly has been a lot colder out there across the area throughout this morning and into the midday. We're tracking more 30s on the way for the upcoming week, but could we see a little more precipitation? We'll talk about those forecast details in your first alert weather coming up in just a few minutes. But first, here's a look at today's farm markets. Hey there, it's time for your first alert weather. Here's a quick check. We certainly had some good amount of rainfall across southeast Minnesota, northeast Iowa here this weekend. You can see from what we've picked up there, look at your local amounts. So Mountain Prairie picking up just shy of that inch and a 4/10 there of an inch, right around an inch and 3/10 there towards St. Ansgar, Iowa. Austin picking up right around an inch and 2/10. So some good significant rainfall across here in southeast Minnesota, northeast Iowa. The official total for the weekend rainfall amount in the Rochester area was just shy of that 1 inch mark there at 9 97 hundredths of an inch there, and a lot of us seeing several tenths of an inch, just under that 1 inch mark. So quite a bit of rainfall being picked up here across the area. Cloudy conditions still at this hour. That rain has pushed out. We're still seeing some periods of some drizzle, some flurries happening here in southeast Minnesota, northeast Iowa, but the bulk of that activity now well to our north, up towards about the Duluth area, but especially back further to our northwest there towards North and South Dakota. Fargo really getting nailed here with this particular system. But I just wanted to show you just how large the system is. We've been seeing rainfall throughout parts of Minnesota, Wisconsin, the UP of Michigan, even snowfall back from North and South Dakota all the way down to the Kansas City area and the state of Kansas. So quite a big system that continues to pull through. So I think here in southeast Minnesota, northeast Iowa, we're pretty much done with that precipitation. We could see a couple stray flurries here tonight into tomorrow morning, but otherwise conditions looking to stay pretty quiet here as we roll to the end of the work week and into early next week. The main thing that we've been focusing on here today has been those colder temperatures. We saw a big change there between last night and this morning. We're down now to those 30s, and we're looking to stay in those 30s as we head into the upcoming week, and we're continuing to watch those flurry chances here for today and into tomorrow. So again, a big temperature change. We've been seeing temps about 10 to 20 degrees colder than what it was at this time last night. Again, we were in those 50s. Now looking at quiet, chilly conditions, those temps there now in the 30s. That was a live look there from your Lewis Notto live camera. As I mentioned, those temperatures in the area now sitting in those low to mid 30s. So wind chill values in the 20s for us here in Rochester and Mason City as we look at those winds there out of the southeast, right about 5 to 10 miles per hour. So the temperature trend a little interesting here for the upcoming week. Now, this will be much cooler compared to the 50s that we had over the holiday weekend, but this is still above average for this time of the year. Typically here towards the tail end of December, we should be in those mid-20s, but we'll actually be staying in those mid to upper 30s between Wednesday and Saturday. Now, Sunday, looking to see a quick little cold front passing through, and that will drop our temperatures into the upper 20s, but those temps will still stay above average. So when it comes to our sky conditions, things remain pretty quiet here for the rest of today. A few flurries there possible as we head into the evening hours. By about 10 o'clock or so, things looking to be much drier then. As we fast forward into your Wednesday morning, looking to continue on with quite a bit of cloud cover. A few breaks in those clouds are expected, so we should be able to see some sunshine tomorrow and a few more flurries possible there throughout the afternoon. Then as we head towards Thursday, again looking to see a bit more cloud cover rolling through here for the area. Tonight, temperatures will be back towards about those mid-20s, a little bit above average here for this time of the year with those cloudy conditions. We'll see some peaks of sunshine possible throughout your Wednesday with high temperatures there into about those mid-30s. So still above average for this time of the year, but certainly feeling mighty cold compared to the 50s here from the weekend. But we are looking to see temperatures at least holding steady once again, somewhat closer to normal. But again, this will still be about 10 to 15 degrees warmer than average. But man, those 50s were nice, and now I'm freezing, and I have to go find my mittens because I stored them away, and I don't know where I put them now.
It just feels so funny that it was the 50s, and we were all warm, and now we're cold, but it's December, so we're supposed to be feeling this way. It's all just so confusing.
It's confusing, but it's all relative.
Yes.
Based on what we've been used to.
Exactly.
So we've been accustomed to the 40s and the 50s, and now we think the 30s are cold.
Right.
But when we get to the teens of the 20s, the 30s feels like a heat wave.
Yeah, so. You're right. It is all relative, and it could be a lot worse. We've seen many worse winters and Christmases and New Year's in the weather.
But the snow, the cold, I'm sure will come eventually. It
will.
Always does here in Southeast Minnesota and Northeast Iowa.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Still to come this morning, the year of I do. 2024 may be a top one for marriage proposals. We're going to tell you what experts are saying about engagements picking up steam next year. Could the new year bring a spike in marriage proposals? One retailer seems to think so. Jen Sullivan has a closer look at that and what experts say that says about the U.S. economy.
Get ready for more moments like these. The largest jewelry company in the U.S. is predicting a marriage proposal rebound in 2024 after a pandemic-triggered drop. According to Signet Jewelers, engagements will soar as high as 2.5 million in 2024. And economists say household creations gives you an indication of how the U.S. economy is doing.
Jobs are plentiful, and it's one of the reasons why you're seeing an increase in household formations. right? And that often precedes an increase in demand for things like jewelry, which is what you see around engagements and marriages.
Signet Jewelers says sales of engagement rings took a hit during the pandemic, but that's changed with the return of pre-pandemic rituals like safe face-to-face dating.
So I think that's a very good sign that gives you just a really strong sense of just how robust portions of the consumer market are and just how solid the U.S. economy is.
Meanwhile, lab-grown diamond sales are surging. Data from last March shows consumers are choosing artificial diamonds over the real thing.
Can you tell which one is the lab diamond and which one is the natural?
They truly look identical to me.
Factory-made diamonds look the same as naturally occurring ones. The only noticeable difference is the price tag.
It just depends if they want a large stone, a good quality and clarity. They might have to go lab if it's not in their budget.
For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
We here at KTTC, of course, hope that you had a great holiday season with your family. And Rochester businesses and police actually have teamed up to deliver warm meals to those in need this Christmas holiday. Volunteers were able to deliver about 100 home-cooked meals to 3 different locations. Those were Friendship Place, Homestead Terrace, and Homestead Green. Owners of a local IT tech support service called Business Computer Solutions, or BCS, organized this charitable effort. Volunteer and local business owner Lisa Ross tells us there is really a need in the community for people to just feel happy and enjoy some good food on Christmas Day.
I think it's really just gratifying altogether. It's a great feeling because not everybody has everything they need. Even if it comes down to the emotional support during Christmas, not everybody has that. And so for us, doing this is just second nature. We want everybody to feel happy during the holiday season.
You may remember community members did a similar charity meal delivery on Thanksgiving, and that helped nearly 140 people. It truly is the season of giving. But you know what Mother Nature is not giving us this month? Any snow, right, Sarah? I mean, we've been looking for it. We've been waiting for it. It just isn't really falling.
I know. We've picked up just very tiny amounts here so far this month, but as soon as it's fallen and accumulated, it's pretty much melted the next day. So really not the greatest conditions for snow accumulation here this December. What we have gotten is rain. Check it out. Here's a look at some of those rainfall amounts from southeast Minnesota, northeast Iowa here over the long holiday weekends. This is Sunday and Monday. These are storm totals for the entire event. Mountain Prairie, 1.38 inches, 1.21 inches there in the Austin area. Official total for Rochester just shy of that 1 inch mark, and many of us picking up anywhere from at least half of an inch all the way up to about a little over 1.25 inches. So quite a bit of rainfall being picked up here across the region, and conditions continuing to be pretty quiet here as we settle into our Tuesday. Many of us heading back to work. Live look there downtown Rochester from your Lewis Notto live camera. We are currently sitting at 31 degrees here in the Med City. Mighty cold compared to what we were at yesterday in the 50s. We've got a little drizzle and some flurries out here at this hour. We're staying very, very stray in manner, so some spots may not see any more at all here for today. But wind chill value back to about the mid-20s as we look to see some light winds here for the area. But area-wide low 30s here in southeast Minnesota, northeast Iowa. All the precipitation staying now well to our north and to our northwest. Just a very large low pressure system continuing to churn across the upper Midwest. So quite a bit of an impact there to the Dakotas. But locally, we'll stay overcast with those skies tonight, or through this afternoon into tonight. Temperatures really only managing about the low 30s. So I think we really have topped off with those temperatures for today. But we will look to see more 30s on the way here for the upcoming week. We'll track out those forecast details for you coming up in your First Alert weather.
Okay, not a bad idea to grab that extra layer to carry around with you today.
Oh yeah, got to find my mittens somewhere.
Well, we wish you the best of luck with that, Sarah. Thank you. Coming up still at noon, a roadside icon is cooking up a comeback with the help of farmers in Georgia. First, here's a look at one of the stories you can see just after us on KTTC for Investigate TV+.
Coming up on the next Investigate TV+, unexpected medical bills and few answers from the hospital.
$700 for a shot?
One woman's story and how you can avoid high costs at the emergency room.
Many people travel near and far to be with family and friends for the holidays, and one particular stop is starting to make a resurgence. Ag Day's Clinton Griffiths has the story.
Dashing through the snow in a front-wheel drive sleigh.
Hey kids, look, a deer!
There's nothing more seasonal than a holiday road trip. And at one time, Stuckey's was a likely stop.
At our peak, we had 368 stores in 40 states.
The roadside oasis is woven into the fabric of highway history.
Stuckey's really is synonymous with the road trip during what I consider the era of the Great American Road Trip, which would have been the 1950s to the 1970s, when Americans wouldn't travel by plane. They would load up in the car, usually in a family station wagon, and they'd drive for 5 days.
It was founded during the Great Depression by pecan farmer W.S. Stuckey as a roadside pecan stand.
He always considered himself first and foremost a pecan farmer and a pecan broker.
Today, his granddaughter is leading a resurgence of that business, not as a highway stop, but as a pecan company with roots on Georgia farms.
I want us to be, this is our big, audacious goal, the go-to pecan snack brand in the world.
Helping her on the journey, a third-generation pecan farmer.
As a Georgia pecan grower, I may be a little bit biased, I don't know, but I mean, I genuinely believe we grow the best pecans in the world in the state of Georgia.
He credits ample rainfall and higher oil content with resulting in larger sized nuts, perfect for creating candied treats at Christmas. Today, on an in-shell basis, they handle about 2 million pounds of Georgia pecans a year in a state that grows 100 million pounds.
In the state of Georgia, which grows more pecans than any state in the country, over 10% of the crop is grown in people's yards.
Soon, they'll be using even more as the business continues to expand.
Why is it that when you go into the grocery store and you walk down the salty snack aisle and you get to the nuts, you can find every other nut sitting in that section, but you don't see pecans there very often?
A question this farmer and farmer's granddaughter are aiming to answer.
Of the original 368 stores, only 12 left. But I saw what wasn't on the balance sheets, and that's the value of the brand.
A brand dumping, churning, dipping, and packaging pecans, log rolls and clusters, just the way the founder, W.S. Stuckey, did when he started.
I would like to think if he were alive today, he would be really happy that we're making our comeback the way we began, as a pecan company.
Here's your first alert weather with meteorologist Sarah Gannon.
Well, we certainly have picked up quite a bit of rainfall here over the past 24 hours and really this holiday weekend. So here's a look at some of those totals. Many of us picking up anywhere from just about 6 to 8 tenths of an inch, even closer to over an inch and a quarter. So quite a bit of rainfall here across the area has been picked up. Cloudy skies overhead at this hour. We may see a little bit of some drizzle, a few flurries here in southeast Minnesota, northeast Iowa through today into early Wednesday. But the main bulk of that system now to our north and to our northwest. So this low pressure system still continuing to turn here across the upper Midwest, bringing rain, snow, wintry mix, everything but the kitchen sink essentially here, impacting parts of the upper Midwest. So locally here in southeast Minnesota, northeast Iowa, we stay cooler with overcast conditions and the 30s then moving in through the rest of the week. So big temperature change between today and yesterday. Many of us about 15 to 20 degrees colder than what we were this time yesterday. And right now, cloudy conditions out there as we check in with your Lewis Sonato live camera. But those temperatures, as I mentioned, now down into those 30s. Some of us seeing wind chill values in the 20s for here in Rochester and Mason City. Wind speeds ranging anywhere from around 5 to 10 miles per hour. So temperatures as we look ahead here through into the weekend and early next week will be above average by seasonal standards, but certainly feeling much colder compared to the 50s we had here over the holiday weekend. But by Friday, temperatures could take a run towards those low 40s once again. As we time things out here the rest of today, looking at maybe the potential for a few flurries, little drizzle here as we head into the evening hours. Otherwise, another opportunity for that Wednesday as this low pressure continues to churn and finally exits our area there for Wednesday. Temperatures looking to stay into those 30s. Tonight, though, temps will be in the 20s. We'll be pretty quiet there with cloudy conditions tomorrow. Looking to see a few peaks of sunshine back in the area aside from those few flurries. Overall, pretty quiet Wednesday for the area with temps in those mid-30s. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. We hold steady in those mid-30s, so we'll be above average still here compared to average. But of course, this will feel much colder compared to those 50s. So a big temperature shock there when you step outside today.
Definitely, but at least we have some of the sunshine to look forward to.
I'm very excited for that sun to come back tomorrow, but especially as we head into Friday and the weekend. That'll be very nice here for the
and the new year. Love to see
Absolutely.
it. Thanks so much, Sarah. Still ahead today, if you are a fan of National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, then you're going to love this next story. A Twin Cities fire department is making people laugh this holiday season after a video inspired by the favorite Christmas movie went viral. We're going to meet the guys behind it all next. Welcome back. We know our first responders stay hard at work while many of us enjoy holidays at home, but that doesn't mean they don't celebrate. Barrett Leone went to the Twin Cities suburb of Savage, where firefighters found a festive way to share their holiday spirit.
This classic movie scene inspired this. Now viral video, sporting more than 1.4 million views on TikTok since it was posted last week.
You all deserve a station like this at the holidays.
Making these firefighters local celebrities.
I don't know about that.
Now, making a holiday video has been a tradition for the Savage Fire Department for the last 4 years. But the crews tell us it's more than just a silly video.
So they get a face to the service, and they feel a little more comfortable when we're responding to their house, and whether that's medical, fire stuff, it's going to be maybe the worst day of their life. So to have some familiarization with the crews that work here in Savage, I think that goes a long way.
It feels good, you know, especially making a difference in a different way than usual in our community.
In more ways than one.
It really helps us reach out to different people for recruitment and retention purposes. We've had quite a few people comment saying they want to move to this community because of how much fun they had watching the video. And if our city and our public figures work like this, they want to be a part of it.
That is such a fun story. We love to see that out of Savage. In some entertainment news, Ye, the rapper formerly known as Kanye West, has issued an apology for his anti-Semitic statements. He posted the apology in Hebrew to Instagram. In it, he wrote that he regrets any offensive or pain that he may have caused and that it was unintended. The rapper says he is committed to learning from the experience to ensure greater sensitivity and understanding. The apology comes more than a year after Kanye took to social media and wrote that he was going to go, quote, DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. Adidas later ended a partnership with him over those comments. He was also suspended on X after posting an anti-Semitic image. However, Elon Musk did reactivate his account earlier this summer. Showbiz in 2023 included awards and arrests, blockbusters and box office bombs, and a whole lot of a certain music superstar. David Daniel has a look at our year in entertainment.
It's going to be called the Eras Tour. See you there.
2023 was Taylor Swift's year. Her Eras Tour made a record $1.4 billion in just 8 months. And when Time Magazine's Person of the Year, a first for a musician, announced a film version, studios changed other movies' release dates to avoid competing with her. Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour made $250 million worldwide. Beyoncé followed with her own concert doc, Renaissance, a film by Beyoncé. Both music icons ignoring the studios and partnering directly with theater chains for distribution. Beyoncé made history, winning her 32nd Grammy Award, the most of any artist ever. Viola Davis's Grammy win for the audiobook of her memoir made her the latest EGOT, Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony winner.
Every rejection, every disappointment has led
get you here.
Everything Everywhere All at Once dominated the Oscars, winning Best Picture and Director and Acting Oscars for Michelle Yeoh, Ke-Huy Quan, and Jamie Lee Curtis.
It is the best day ever. So is yesterday, and so is tomorrow, and every day from now until forever.
The box office belonged to Barbenheimer. With Barbie set to debut the same weekend as Oppenheimer, internet users dubbed the duo Barbenheimer, and cast members went online urging audiences to watch the films as a double feature. The result? Barbie was the year's top-grossing movie, with $1.4 billion in worldwide ticket sales. And Oppenheimer, a 3-hour biography of the scientist who helped usher in the nuclear age, made $951 million. It was a welcome boost for Hollywood, which all but shut down for nearly 4 months amid the first simultaneous actors and writers' strikes in more than 60 years. Both unions won wage increases, assurances about the use of artificial intelligence, and other concessions from the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers.
If we don't solve this mystery, we're stuck here for eternity.
Disney had more than strikes to worry about. From Haunted Mansion to the much-hyped Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, one Mouse House movie after another failed to meet box office expectations.
One last time.
Even the studio's Marvel division was a disappointment. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 did well, but Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania failed to connect with audiences and critics, and The Marvels was the lowest-grossing movie in Marvel history.
I can fix things. We can also destroy everything.
Marvel's loss was not DC's gain in 2023. Warner Brothers' comic book movie division suffered as well, as The Flash flopped. So did Shazam! Fury of the Gods and Blue Beetle, amid what industry analysts are calling superhero fatigue.
How you feeling, Harvey?
Harvey Weinstein, already serving a 23-year prison sentence in New York, was sentenced in Los Angeles to an additional 16 years in prison. The former Hollywood mogul was convicted of rape and sexual assault, stemming from an alleged incident in 2013. Weinstein called the case a setup and maintained his innocence. The sentence means Weinstein, who's 70, will spend the rest of his life in prison.
As to that charge, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty? Not guilty.
27 years after Tupac Shakur was shot to death in Las Vegas, Dwayne Davis was arrested and charged in the rapper's murder. Authorities contend the killing was part of a larger conflict between two Compton, California gangs. And the family of Die Hard star Bruce Willis revealed he'd been diagnosed with frontotemporal dementia, a rare, aggressive form of the cognitive disease. Family and friends say Willis can no longer speak, but that he's still Bruce. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
It's so interesting to get a full look back at all things entertainment in 2023. We're going to be right back in just a moment. We leave you this afternoon with a zoo in Georgia welcoming the cutest Christmas miracle, a baby rhino. Take a look at this. The southern white rhinoceros is the first to be born at Zoo Atlanta. The calf, whose species is near threatened, was born on Christmas Eve. Oh my gosh, are you kidding? So cute. I know. Zoo officials say the calf is healthy, strong, and being cared for by its mother, which you see there. The two will continue to bond before the calf then officially enters the rhino habitat.
Look at the little ears.
Are you kidding? I know. Baby animals, along with baby anything, really, is just the cutest thing. So hopefully that puts a smile on your face this morning.
I want to know what the name is. Do we get to pick the name? Do
Maybe.
they have a name picked out?
I don't know.
Is it a boy or a girl?
I don't even know. It just says calf.
Okay.
We'll have to wait and see.
It's a cutie regardless.
Right? I know. It's so cute. And we're having our Tuesdays start off being really kind of cloudy.
Chilly and cloudy compared to the weekend, but we're looking to see more sunshine as we head into the weekend and temps in those 30s.
All right. Thanks, Sarah. We hope you have a great rest of your Tuesday. We'll see you tomorrow.